Welcome to our final day and wrap-up for Board Game Geek 2014. We played a bunch of games today, and so we're going to start with our big one that we played, of the new games at least, is La Isla.
Yeah, this is a new game from Stefan Feld, and it's hotly anticipated, just debuted at Essen. The premise of the game is we're all sort of... What is the premise of the game?
We're all explorers. There's this new island, new species, and our goal is, to be like, we must discover everything. And we're just trying to, gain the most fame among all adventurers or explorers.
So it's a little interesting. Each turn you actually you get 3 new cards, and you arrange them, and depending on where you put them, different parts of the card activate. So every turn there are a lot of different choices to make, but I never found analysis paralysis was a problem as much, because it's only really you have 3 slots to put them into.
Yes.
But I did not just looking at the game, I knew what people were into it. I knew it was hot, but from just the theme, from at a glance, seemed kind of dry to me. I wasn't really into the art. After we played it, though, I was surprised how much I loved it a lot.
Yeah. If you've been watching these before, this was actually one of my Essen picks.
Right.
And I think it definitely lived up. When we first opened it, like you said, we thought it might have been a bit more complicated.
Yeah,
but as soon as we actually set it up, it really is quite simple.
It's simple, and we played it in less than an hour.
Yeah, no, it was really quick.
Yeah.
And it also came down to be pretty close. I think it was 1 point ahead.
You won by 1 point, and
Yeah.
that was also, we didn't actually read all the scoring information at the end. So
which would have changed how we played it a bit. But I mean, I still think we did pretty well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. People can, and it's good, like, sort of map control. But at the same time, I think it's very hard for someone to really ruin you. You can't be pushed out of the game.
That's another one thing I really liked is because part of it is putting your explorers on tiles to get more points and stuff. But 2 people can share a space.
Right. I mean,
so there's never like, oh, he took the spot I wanted.
Well,
that can happen.
It happens, but it's not nearly as much as like
it's not crushing.
It's not like Ticket to Ride. If someone takes that one line, you're doomed.
Right.
Like, you can still capture another area.
Yeah, exactly.
And capturing these animals, it's cool. They actually give you the name of the animals, which I can't remember them.
I think there might. I know one's.
I remember Golden Toad.
It might all be
because
extinct.
that one. Well, no, I think Golden Toad's thought to be extinct. It's not confirmed. It's like we haven't seen them, I think, in 50 years. Yeah, I don't know about the others though.
But that unfortunately we waited too long to try and pick it up. It's all sold out today, but. We'll probably get it for ourselves someday and for the site soon whenever it's available. So we really liked it.
Another game we played was Red 7. Now, this is a nice little small game. I actually think there's a bit more thinking in it than La Isla, I feel.
Maybe a different kind of thinking.
Yeah, but pretty much you get an opening hand, and this hand really is like sort of like your life, because if you can't do anything with it, you die. You lose.
All the cards are numbers.
Right, numbers and colors. So it'd be like Red 7, Blue 5. A little bit like a Bucket King.
Right, like Bucket King.
But the first rule, there's a center rule, it's like a little flux. The center rule is highest red, highest value number wins.
So what that means is on your turn you can put a card face down in front of you, and if you have the highest number, you're currently winning. And in fact, if you're not winning according to that rule in the middle, you're out of the game, eliminated for that.
Right.
Round.
However, so let's say that was the run, and you play like a Red 5.
Right.
Now I'm looking at my hand. I'm like, I can't beat you with that. But what I can do is play. You don't want to play all your cards, obviously, if you can avoid it. But I can play one card. Let's say I played up Blue 1, but then I can discard another card that, like Violet, that changes the rule to a winner who has the most cards under 4.
Right.
So it becomes a challenge of, what do I want to play 2 cards and risk having less? Save, like, it's a balance of how to use your cards
and
correctly.
Trying to figure out what's he gonna play so that I can change my play, and I don't want to use this yet.
Or worse, how can I make him play more cards?
Right,
because if you can't play any cards, you lose.
So it is like Flux in that way, but whereas Flux was all like
Flux is just like, well, let's see what happens.
There's only 7 rule sets, so you can plan a little better.
And there's a lot more strategizing.
And super quick, easy games.
Yeah.
There were some advanced rules we didn't play with, which give you more actions you can do.
As well as scoring, but
it reminded me a lot. Actually, it felt like kind of like a new age Uno cards in a way that's simple. You're trying to put down cards, and the colors are like matching and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the same kind of feeling.
Yes,
it takes it in a different direction, but
so that was another big hot one.
Yeah, a lot of people said they really liked that.
But those are for new games. Those are some pretty good. But
Yeah.
we got to try an old classic.
Yeah, which I've heard about a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I know it's gonna be here. Let's check it out.
Yeah, no. Apparently, before we say it, we will say every time someone saw us playing, they're like, we make sure to rent that game every time we come here.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
apparently, if you do come here, this is the game you want to look for.
Yeah, and in fact, we made a new friend who played with us as well.
We should actually not say the name of it now.
Right, the game is called Monopoly. Not really. It's Fireball Island. This is a game from the 80s, which is really a very simple kids game, like Milton Bradley published.
Yeah.
But the components of it are just so wild.
Let's just give you the box is about this wide and maybe like this tall. Yeah, it's mostly for the board. The board's this giant plastic island.
And what's great about it is because the reason it's called
Yeah.
Fireball Island is sometimes a fireball will come out of the volcano.
Right.
So there's actually marbles on the board, and you get to knock them down like mousetrap style, sort of. And if anyone's in the way, they get knocked down and they get sent back.
And they lose a turn pretty much.
Yeah, they lose a turn.
It is a lot of fun. Pretty much the premise of the game is you're all four explorers. So he's on an island, and there's this magical ruby or something at the right by the tiki head of the volcano, which actually rotates. So that's one of the marbles you can hit and like change targets.
And it can even like hit other marbles and ricochet.
Which happened to me too many times. But pretty much it's a race to get the gem and then get to the boat. Right. Another thing I like about there's also cave spaces. You can go into a cave, then you roll. Depending on what you roll, you end up at a different cave. One of which is just a cliff looking over a river.
Yeah, so even though it is that roll and move, very basic.
Right.
The fact that, first of all, you can go backwards, too. You
Right.
don't have to go in one direction. And like you said, the cave system can take you to random places. I felt like there was a little bit more strategy to it. Didn't feel like when you're playing Candyland or whatever, like you'd expect from Milton Bradley. It is to an extent.
No, it is. Because, I mean, obviously, when someone gets the gem, it pretty much just comes to run, capture, run.
Yeah.
Because when you pass them, you can steal the gem from
But
them.
I felt there was enough
No,
difference there to
absolutely.
make it not a slog.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't a slog, except for the fact one point. Well, it's not really the game's fault, I think, as much as you happen to get pushed back to like the beginning through a cave system.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were all at the end, so we're just like, let's get the gem, and we're just like,
Right. They're just like,
Mom,
we
we
gotta
want to
wait.
steal them already. And you're,
Yeah, so
but
it was fun.
well, plus there's cards we should mention.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can play cards interrupting other people. It'll be like, yeah, Jonathan, you re-roll that die.
Yeah, there's a lot of take that going on. So it's not one of the I would take out every weekend, but once in a while, because people see it's like same thing we said about Cthulhu Wars. Someone sees that game on a table, you want to play.
Oh,
it.
yeah,
It
no.
just looks like fun.
No. This is definitely. I mean, it's out of print now, so we don't know what's going for yet.
Yeah, check it out on eBay and see what the deals are.
But the game itself is definitely. I think it's a reasonable one on a collection for an old game. That's. I mean, it is. Like
it's
you
definitely
said,
a step
roll
up
and move.
from Candyland.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
Trouble.
Candyland literally is just you don't even roll.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a fun one. Check it out if you have a chance.
Yeah. And if you ever come to Board Geek Con, we highly suggest trying to arrive early to
Seek
get
it
that
out.
game.
We also got a chance to check out a smaller board game company, but no less important than the others. Probably you may not have heard about them as much. They're not on a lot of people's radars. Called Hilaria and Ludi. At least they weren't on ours. And they had a few games that they personally demoed for us. We got to meet the representatives Stuart and Todd, and they were really nice. And we got to play Gambits, Geominos, and Tactic Tiles briefly.
So let's start with Tactic Tiles. I think we'll go that way and pretty much go across their table. Tactic Tiles, in essence, has a bunch of unique tiles, 72, I believe. And the tiles themselves have either a red, a blue, or a yellow square somewhere on there, usually around the edges, maybe in the center. And your goal is you're trying to match them up, and you get a point if you get three reds touching each other. But you get 2 points if you make the whole square. So it's challenging. And even more points if you match two colors at the same time.
Right. So it's one of those games where it's matching, but you also don't want to leave an opening for your opponent, because if you match three reds in a corner, someone can take that and complete
Right, but at the same time, if you play two defensively, you won't get any points.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. So I guess the next one was Geominos, and this one actually sort of a similar kind of thing, but instead of colors, you're matching numbers. So you have tiles that look like dominoes with different numbers on them.
Each tile is made from a 3x3 square, missing some tiles, some missing more, some less, and with numbers on like dominoes. And your goal is to match them up on this board. However, the board is a mixture of red and tan squares. For each number on a tan square, that when you put down a tile, you get points. And
Right.
you actually don't want points. And this is golf style.
Yeah.
So it becomes a really interesting weave of like, I can put this here, and maybe I got 7 points, but then I'm also blocking you from getting a 0 pointer or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of, as they said, potential analysis paralysis. The game comes with timers, so if you need them. But another very same thing with the strategic, like you just said.
And they don't include screens, which I think that's an interesting variant.
To hide the tiles from each other.
So I could see like, if I put that there, Jonathan's going to have a free piece to put down. And, of course, I can never let him win.
I'd actually want a screen, not for, like, I don't want anyone else to see my tiles, but just because otherwise every turn takes an extra 20 minutes to look at everyone else's tiles. But why don't you say the last game that we saw was Gambits.
This one actually premiered here at
Right, brand
Geek
new.
This one was really cool. It was it's a deck of cards, 4 suits.
Similar to playing cards, but with some differences.
Pretty much numbered 1 through 10, colored red, yellow, blue, green, and also some royal like
king, queen, bishop,
and castle,
and
knight. It's based off the chess pieces.
Right.
Now the way the game works is pretty much you're gonna have your hand and you keep playing them. You put the 1 on the 1s, 2 on the 2s, and everyone's playing on these piles. The queens, however, when someone plays a 3. You put it on top of a pile of 3, not a 3 card, and it locks that pile. So if someone's holding that last 4, for example, they're like, I don't have anywhere to play it. And the bishops move them, the knights let you discard, kings are worth a lot of points, and castles can't be blocked. So it's like those are like special cards. And they only activate though on certain times. Like the bishops are only the 2nd and 3rd bishop.
Right. So you might want to. I want to get the ability of the bishop, but no one's played one yet. So I need to save this and hope somebody else does it.
But whenever you play a card, you get points, and the first bishop gets a lot of points.
Right. So there's a trade-off.
There's all these trade-offs for all these cards.
Yeah.
And it's a deck of cards.
Right.
We should mention all these fit. The first 2 fit up to 8 players.
Gambits
in this one.
And matching tiles.
Yes.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Tactic tiles. Fit up to 8.
2 to 8, which is amazing. Especially because the Gambits we said is a pack of cards.
And they said for tactic tiles you could really even do 10 if you wanted. It might not work as well. Geomenos
is 2 to 4 because there's only so many tile pieces.
Right.
But looking through all these games are for like 8 and up, if I recall correctly.
Right. Yeah, they're all very simple. Not simple, but with depth. But definitely a family could play them, or like head-to-head 2-player serious games.
I think like the way you said it, they took a lot of games like playing cards, dominoes, and they put enough depth to them because when we take this game, it's a perfect game if like you take on a trip with the family. And I think everyone can have a chance to play and probably beat each other.
Yeah.
Like it's not like an 8-year-old can play but probably won't win.
Right.
Unless you're absolutely ruthless and just terrible person.
Yeah, I know that we both really love the heavy theme games and stuff.
But at the same time, we love those simple games that just come over.
Yeah, there's something about, I really do appreciate, especially when a game has that feel of an old style game, which these do, but with a little more depth, because there is something that's nice sometimes when it's just dominoes or whatever, you know what I mean? And for something in that vein but new, it's really cool.
And like we said, something that's pretty much the size of most micro games.
Yeah, Gambits
that fits
8 players. It's great. It's like this big.
Especially if you go to conventions like these.
So it might be a little hard to find these games. We're going to try to get them in stock on their site.
But we definitely suggest you check them out.
Yeah, look into that. So that's really all the big stuff that we got to see today.
We talked to one other person.
That's true, we did.
Yeah, we got to actually talk to Robert Burke. If you don't know, he made games such as Battle for Souls, Draco Magi, and the new game that just finished on Kickstarter,
Operation Faust, which we talked about on our first Board Game Geek wrap-up.
And it was really amazing to talk to him. We're huge fans of his previous games.
Yeah.
And playing Faust was even better because that was just so much fun.
Yeah, and we managed to get our hands on a prototype copy of the game, so we'll actually be giving probably a review in the near future.
Yeah, so keep an eye for that.
And as long as we're dropping names, we also got to talk to Ignacy Trevicek from Portal, who we both love, of Robinson Crusoe, so it was really fun to meet him.
And he told us a little bit about the Mysterium game.
Right, Mysterium, we found out, which is one of the games everyone's raving about.
Yeah. We didn't get our hands on it, and both of us are.
Which we might order the Polish version, probably will, but the American one will be published next year. But so it's been really cool getting to meet all these big people that we admire.
All right, so let's start the sum up. Let's look at Board Game Geek Con. How do you feel of it as a whole for a convention?
100% positive.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The area. Let's talk about before the convention. Just the logistics getting here. Huge airport.
Yeah, I think we are still in it, but
I mean, like, for
we
a lot
didn't
of
ever leave it.
for a lot of people, like, it's not like, I know sometimes at convention it's a pain in the ass because hotels that nearby jump up in price. For us, we got a really nice room that was 5 minutes away. Parking, they validate your ticket so you don't have to pay any of the tolls they go through.
Yes.
Parking, I mean, depending on the day, you still can park in the structure, just have to go up maybe a couple levels. Which is amazing I think is great, which is really important, especially if you have to bring kids along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, going to the convention itself, almost no lines.
Oh, yeah. Well, so, we're really the conventions that we've been to, big ones, obviously.
Right.
Gen Con now and Comic Con.
Comic-Con, I mean, even for me, Otakon, the small one, Anime Next, near us. But
compared to those, this was like a luxury ride. There was so much breathing room, and you never felt packed in. You always felt like, oh, I can approach that person and talk to them, and I have plenty of room, and I have plenty of time.
Yeah, look, when we come to the game, the stores are pretty much open, and they have demos there, and you can talk to the guys. Like, we got to talk to these people. The game library, I believe it's over 3,000 titles, around 3,500.
So,
like we said, we're annoyed we didn't get some of these games, but there are a lot of games we did get to play, which is great.
I think the big thing that we both took away that we mentioned a little bit previously too is that the exhibitor section is much smaller, and really this is all about playing the games, and that, like, the library is like Christmas. If there was a place like that I could go to an actual library, yeah, I mean.
He'd run it.
It really is. For people who love board games and who are everyone here, when you walk in there, it's just magical. You can take any old and new game and you can play it.
There are so many tables around. I mean, the big room does fill up, but they have tables in other places. Like, we're in a room right now with tables.
Yeah.
There's the center area. They already set up some of the, like, more thank you, Ivan. Dexterity games. Like, which is really cool because a lot of weird ones like that. They already have big teams like for Hero Clicks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and the panels, like, there's the puzzle thing on Saturday. We did the one puzzle hunt. There's also a room one. Like, a lot of these really fun events to just like, it is made for every age.
And the one thing that I would, it's sort of my negative, but it's also really a positive.
Okay.
Which is, the panels we went to. Were really. I wish there was a little better structure to them, and I wish they had more in the Comic-Con style. But that's because Comic-Con is much more established, and they have a much higher protocol for that. So the fact that Board Game Geek is taking these steps, because I don't think anyone else is, because Gen Con didn't really do it as much, I think, or we just didn't have time to go to them. That they are pushing forward to get these kinds of. Getting these designers and to give these talks is really important for the industry, I think.
We will say, if you're the kind of person who wants to be there for, like, the newest thing, I mean, there weren't nearly as many announcements for new things like at Gen Con. That's, that's more of, like, what's your cup of tea thing.
But I think that's, for me, that's why this is the jelly to Gen Con's peanut butter. Because Gen Con is your super exciting, everything's new, rush, and then this is like...
Or Essen too.
And Essen, right. And this
we
is
haven't
like...
been there, so we can't say, but...
Well, all that stuff came out, and now just take your time and try them and just have fun with it instead of rushing.
Overall, we got to say, if you're into board games, I think this is a convention you really should go to. I mean, you get to pretty much, it's a chance for you to really almost have your own library, like a chance for you to get a chance to get these games.
Absolutely.
Meet other people and play with them. Oh, we should even mention, like, let's say I came by myself and, I want to play some of these games, but they require more people. They have flags so you can ask for people so people can look, the guy wants more people.
And you can ask for teachers, so if someone knows how to play the game, they'll help you out a lot.
No, it really is just a great place to really just sit and breathe.
Yeah.
Like, take a deep breath and just play a game.
And we should say they also just announced another edition of Board Game Geek Con that's going to be taking place at the same location next year on Memorial Day that's oriented more towards families.
Which I think is pretty impressive because, I mean, to me, I feel like they did a great job here.
Yeah, this is already. So if you're, if you have kids and that kind of thing and you're in the area, definitely.
And veterans are free too, I believe, right?
Right, since it's Memorial Day, like if you're active duty or a military veteran, they let you in free.
Yeah, I definitely think the people designed this, really to center around fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
And I'm just like, I'm almost scared of. I want everybody to come. They're here for the next 3 years, they said.
Yeah.
So the size probably won't increase too soon, but it's like I want them to get bigger. But it's so nice.
Don't watch this video. Don't watch this video.
So I don't know if that's something they're consciously doing, trying to keep it smaller, or if they're looking to grow at some point in the future.
Look, it happens with every convention,
Yeah.
and overall,
But right now, we like it.
yeah. Well, right now it's great. If it does get bigger, I wouldn't be surprised if they get more donations for the library. I mean,
Sure.
because the bigger it is, the more people are gonna be
And
like,
the more space they'll
because
get.
I mean, a lot of we talked, like we mentioned earlier, we went and talked to with Asmodee, and he wasn't selling them, but he said like, yeah, I donated a bunch of the games to the library.
Right.
So I mean,
right.
you will get your chances most likely.
So we had tons of overall, like, let's say, like, favorite new game that you played at the show. I did. I mean, it's just 'cause it's the first one I'm thinking of, but I did really like Concept, which has been out for a while. But I had a lot of. I thought it was a very unique, original idea.
It's definitely a very good game.
And
it earned its
great party. Yeah, I think it earned its nomination.
This
You
is
think of a
hard.
specific? Yeah.
No, I mean, it's hard because I love a lot of the games. There's so many games I fell in love with.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to have to put my vote towards actually Cthulhu Wars.
Yeah.
That I just found for a Cthulhu Lovecraft based game, amazing miniatures. Time wise wasn't that long compared to like what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Great rules, interesting balancing, a bunch of expansions on the way, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I think while the price is expensive, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. See our earlier episode for full details on that. But definitely.
But it's really hard
There's
because, like
so
I said,
many.
like Operation Faust was, I think, it was such a good bluffing game.
And
It was so much fun.
and La Isla.
Isla.
And I Say Homes we really liked.
Yeah. Once again, the name I'm always the Angel game. Which,
Regnum Angelica.
Thank you.
Yeah, so check out all our videos. We loved everything.
We really hit it. We got a great 2-player one. We got a great miniature game. We got a great bluffing game.
But we'll keep Concept and Cthulhu Wars because
Right.
there's symmetry with the alliteration.
Right. I mean, we have to choose one to tell you now. But really, like I said, this is another reason to come. Look, look at all these great, amazing games we got a chance to play. All of them, most of them aren't out yet,
Right.
or just came out.
So please, if you want to keep up and wait, and hopefully we'll be able to carry a lot of these games. Some of them we have, like Concept we do have right now. You can keep in touch with us a number of ways. First of all, on Twitter, you can follow us at Roll4Crit. And since it's our last episode, might as well let them know they can email us.
Yeah.
What's our email address?
Roll4Crit@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought about all our podcasts. Maybe it's something we should try to hunt down.
Maybe you were at the con and you had a favorite that we didn't pick up on.
Absolutely. And even if you even said like I saw you guys and didn't get a chance to say hi, we'd love to say hi
That
back.
would be neat if you were stalking us or anything.
And of course, if you want to send a small message, there's Twitter.
Yeah, and our personal Twitters as well. In addition to at Roll4Crit, at Quentz,
at Dorkiryu, and of course at Ivan Arhan behind the camera,
and at Foamy89, who we should say has been diligently posting news all week while we've been away, and our website. That's what I was going to say. Roll4Crit.com. All these videos. All our games that we sell, great prices, great deals, holiday promo right now.
Right. Plus, of course, more videos to come. Like we said, hope Operation Faust is soon to come.
We'll be covering all this stuff again.
We will be skipping next week because it's Thanksgiving, and he will be in Kansas, so it's a little hard to do recording.
Right, but after that, we'll be back. There probably will be a playback, though.
Yes, we do have a playback prepared for you.
So stay tuned for that.
We'll still give you a little love for Thanksgiving week.
Now, so I think one final thing before we go, I think what we should do is Ivan's gonna come over here, yeah, and we've been wearing these wristbands for the past 5 days,
and I'm the only one who does not care about them. But these two do not like them.
It's symbolic of the end of an era. I thought we were gonna do it at the same time.
I guess not.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So, Board Game Geek on 2014. We had a great time.
Yeah. See you in a year.
Indeed. Jonathan Estes.
Will Keeler. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.